Hello guys, so we are now at Avalanche Summit in Barcelona, and we met with Eli Ben-Sasson, who is the founder of StarkWare. It's Ethereum scaling solution which uses ZK-Rollups. Nice to meet you here, Ben.
Thank you, Anna. Nice to meet you.
So can you tell about your background and how did you get into blockchain?
Yeah, so I did a bunch of math. I was a professor of computer science and theoretical computer science for a while. And I swallowed the blockchain red pill in 2013 when I realized that the technology I was working on is actually relevant to helping blockchain scale. I was one of the founders of the Zcash cryptocurrency, which uses a very cool cryptographic technology called ZK-Snark. But 3 years later, a bunch of the other folks that are co-founders and a bunch of collaborators, we invented a better technology that we like more called ZK-Stark, and that's the one that we commercialized in StarkWare. So, you know, from academics and theory to blockchain and practice.
And how can you describe in simple words what are ZK-Rollups?
A ZK-Rollup is like public transportation for a blockchain. So if you think of a blockchain as a road, and a road can get jam-packed, then a roll-up is like having public transportation, a very efficient bus that can pack many transactions inside a single block. That's a ZK-Rollup. I actually prefer the name Validity-Rollup, but I acknowledge that the world calls them ZK-Rollup.
Great explanation.
Thank you.
You achieved already such big success since 2018, already 1.1 billion TVL and over 500 billion in trading. And as I know, you have two products, StarkEx and StarkNet. Can you describe what's that and what's your business model?
Yeah, so indeed, the amount of adoption of our core technology, it's just exciting to see how much the world believes in it and sees its value. The $500 billion mark that we just reached today of settled value, I have to give a lot of the credit to our amazing partners on the StarkEx system, most notably DYDX, which handled most of the volume of this $500 billion, but also Sorare, Immutable X, and Diversify, amazing partners. So like, you know, on the StarkEx system, it's certainly not just, you know, we are the engine inside, but all of the system is of course theirs. So a lot of like pride in their success, which is also our success. So that's StarkEx, and the business model there is a very conventional, boring, you know, old world kind of business model where we have business agreements with these customers in a sort of business-to-business model. Okay, StarkNet is much more new world and exciting and different, and StarkNet is basically like Ethereum, or like Avalanche. It's a permissionless, decentralized network where anyone can publish smart contracts and anyone may deploy transactions to. It just works in this sort of bus model where you have much higher efficiency and hence you have much lower gas cost per transaction.
And you have as well two solutions, on-chain rollup and off-chain Validium, which seem to be quite similar to what Meta Labs does with ZK-Sync on-chain and ZK Porter off-chain. So what are the differences and what are advantages and disadvantages of rollup and Validium, and what are the applications? Yeah,
so they are very similar because they are in fact Validium. I mean, ZK Porter is Validium, rebranded under a different name, and it came a bit later than our solution. So in a rollup mode, what you do is you basically tell the layer one the state diff between, you know, one state and the second. And in a Validium model, you keep a lot of the data off-chain, and then users have this trade-off, whether they want to pay higher cost and have rollup in the security of L1, or whether they want to go with lower cost and keep it on layer 2. One thing we're really excited, and which we also invented, is called Volition, which brings the best of both worlds. It basically says that you as a user can choose, suppose you're a day trader. So maybe throughout the day, you want to pay the lower costs of working in Validium, but then at the end of the day, you want to move back to the safety of layer 1 in a roll-up mode. So Volition, which is already in production on our StarkEx systems, allows our customers to decide which of these two options they want, and of course they will pay accordingly. It's cheaper to have Validium, but safer to have roll-up. So Volition is the future, and it's also something we invented.
And what are the biggest use cases of the use of StarkWare?
I would say gaming is going to be a very big thing. Like putting more computation inside, underneath an NFT. So it could be both generative art, it could be gaming, putting a little bit of the logic of the game back on chain. Think of CryptoKitties back in the day, right? There wasn't that much computation, but still it crashed Ethereum in 2018. Well, now you could have the analog of CryptoKitties and even much more of the logic of the game or the evolution of the NFT being done on StarkNet without paying these exorbitant gas costs. So I think gaming is going to be a very big thing, generative art, and then it's very hard to foresee what's going to be the killer applications on this new world.
And currently you have Sorare and Immutable X. Any other game and NFT partners?
Not ones that we have publicly announced yet. I mean, we have discussions with a lot of teams, but nothing to announce yet beyond these two in the NFT.
Can you share some upcoming plans?
Somewhat.
Some upcoming plans for development?
Yeah, so hopefully very soon on StarkNet, basically the fee mechanism and the bridge are going to be turned on, which will allow basically a lot of the applications that are right now on testnet to deploy on mainnet, and users to start transferring, basically interacting on StarkNet as they would on a layer 2. That's a big milestone that's coming ahead in the next month. Hopefully by midsummer, on StarkNet, we will have a much higher performance. We're trying to reach a TPS that is at least 10x higher than Ethereum at 1% the amortized gas cost. That's our goal. And
so it's like 150 transactions per second?
Yeah, I would say something like that. Like we're hoping to get 150 transactions per second or so, and at a cost that is basically 1%, so much significantly lower than on Ethereum. And hopefully by the end of the year, maybe in Q1 of next year, we want to be well on our way towards decentralizing the network and having sequencers and provers operated by basically the network.
Any plans for your own token?
No comment.
Probably then yes.
No comment.
Okay. And do you think that layer 2s are applicable only to Ethereum, or whether they can be applicable to any other layer 1s?
I have no doubt that any blockchain that reaches its scale limit is going to need scaling technologies. And I also have no doubt that our scaling technology is the best, the most future-proof, the earliest around. So if you take this plus this, the conclusion is yes, it will be deployed on all blockchains that require higher scale.
And now we are at Avalanche Summit, so do you think will there be a necessity to scale Avalanche with your solution?
I hope for Avalanche that there's a necessity to scale, right? Because I mean, a blockchain that doesn't reach its scaling limit at whatever throughput it is means that there's not much usage for it. So I do hope that they and many others reach the scaling limit, and that they truly need the kind of technology that only Starks can offer. And right now we are focused on one thing and one thing only, which is basically getting StarkNet out there. So we can't allocate any resources to anything else. But irrespective of what we do, I have no doubt that StarkNet, ZK Starks, the programming language and the framework behind it will become the de facto standard for scaling all blockchains.
Okay, great. Maybe we will see your cooperation with some more layer 1s in future.
Maybe.
Thank you for a great conversation.
Thank you.